Hello. Um, so I just got done watching the playthrough for the Fraser's playthrough for Silent Hill 2, and I I kind of wanted to make sort of a video response for it, and sort of explain to you, the viewer who is watching this video right now, why Fraser did not like it, and also why, in my from my perspective, why this game was not suitable for this show. And I'm just gonna say right now, this is the first video that I've done like this. So please excuse me if I if I get a little scatterbrained or something. I'm gonna try to stay as focused as possible, but there might be an off chance that it gets a little too much, but it already is. Alright, so I'm just gonna get into it now. Okay, so I just got done watching this playthrough, Silent Hill 2 playthrough, from Video Games Awesome. In case it's not sure, I actually like Video Games Awesome. I like the show. I think it's very entertaining. I like watching it. And I see myself as a very understanding person, and when there's somebody who's disliking something, then I sort of try to go into it and understand. Then I sort of try to analyze why is it that this person does not like this, and why doesn't this work and all. And that's what I think I'm gonna do with this video right now. Okay, before this gets too long. So, I watched the playthrough, and it was pretty obvious that Fraser didn't like it. And I think it's obvious why he did not like it. I actually made a comment too, much shorter, probably much better explanation than what I'm gonna give here, but I'm gonna try anyway. Um, so, well, it is kind of hard. This is something I've thought about many times. It's kind of hard to determine whether whether a game is gonna work for a playthrough or not before they actually do it. I for example, thought that Amnesia and Walking Dead was not going to work at all. I thought that, well, these are two games where you have to pay attention. It doesn't work if you are sitting with other people, if you're sitting communicating with other people. It only works when you are alone and really centered around the game. That's what I thought going into this, watching these playthroughs. And I was very wrong. I was very wrong, and it turned out that those two are actually some of the best playthroughs they've done. And I'd also say with that it's very hard to determine whether a playthrough is going to be good or not until they're done with it. Until they played all the way through it, or just until they actually get down to it. It's clear that they don't even know it themselves. Not a stab at their intelligence or anything, but they just get they're just, you know, they got it. They the fuck is the word for it? A lot of people wanted them to play the game, and it was October, it was Halloween month, so of course it was obvious, and it was gonna get a lot of views too. So it makes sense why they want to play it. So I'm gonna try to explain, give a reasonable, and I'm not gonna curse or anything. I'm just gonna try to explain why Fraser didn't like the game, and and why it did not work for the show. First of all, I have not played the game myself. I have not played Silent Hill 2 myself. I am a pussy when it comes to horror games, so I don't even want to play it myself. But I would say that I already knew a lot about the game on my own, and I started to remember a lot of parts while I was watching the playthrough. I actually watched it from one end to the other. And my opinion of it is that I like it. My opinion of this game is, well, it's it is what it is. It tells a story about a man who lost his wife and now trying to gain her back, or somehow sort of gain a remorse, you could say. It is very cryptic. It is a very cryptic game. I will say that in the game's defense, that the gameplay is not optional for a playthrough. That I mean, without without any help, Fraser would have been walking around not knowing where to go to for a long time. So already there, it's not it's not optional for a playthrough to do, or at least not a long haul playthrough as they do. What else? Well, the gameplay is not good for the playthrough, but I would, in the game's defense, say that it works. There is a good reason to why the game does not tell you where to go, why the cameras are wrong, because the game is, you're supposed to feel disoriented, you're supposed to feel lost, and you're supposed to feel scared, and you're supposed to feel disturbed. There's a reason to why it's played like this, and it works in this case. You could also make the argument that's just how games were back then. I wouldn't say that. Not all games were like that, but this game definitely were. And it was so because of a good reason, because it was part of the experience. So, but that didn't work for the show. Whenever Fraser wanted to go somewhere, the chat would just tell him. And I haven't said this already, my opinion of the game is that I actually like it. I think it's okay. It does have some weird and very stupid puzzle moments, I agree. The juice box thing is obviously a little stupid. But overall I like the game. I like the symbolism of the game. And here's why I think the game did not work for the show. Symbolism and atmosphere. The game, when it comes to horror games, there are sort of two types of horror games. There are games that tries to scare you with atmosphere, and then there are games that tries to scare you with jump scares. And yeah, you know, that's the same with horror movies in a way. If you look at games like Slender, that's all jump scares. That's all jump scares. It's all about jump scares. They're up front and in your face, and they get your attention. A jump scare always gets your attention, and it gets great reaction, and it definitely got great reaction whenever there was a jump scare in Slender. Take Slender as a great example for a playthrough. That's a good game for a playthrough, and it actually proved too with Video Game's awesome playthrough of it. Silent Hill 2 doesn't have a lot of jump scares. It doesn't, let me say, it doesn't have intentional cutscene jump scares. It doesn't have moments where the camera just says and something happens. Whenever Pyramid Head showed up, it was part of the whole thing. So you weren't really affected by it. You can tell why they were affected by it, because but it didn't seem like it was the game intention that he should show up and scare you like this. It was sort of part of the way it's played. But maybe then again, that is why it was scary, because you don't expect it. But a reason to why it might not been as scary is because it's not in first person, but also it's not in first person. You're not seeing it from one perspective like you were in Amnesia and Slender. But actually third person, so you're sort of above it, you're sort of away from the action. Now, as I'm trying to get to here, Silent Hill 2 does not try to scare you with jump scares. It tries to scare you and affect you much more with its atmosphere and its symbolism. And it's obvious you wouldn't get that if you don't pay attention. You need to pay attention to a lot in the game in order to understand a lot of what is going on. And of course you wouldn't get symbolism like what is wrong with I can't remember her first name, Orozco, the girl with the table slash door father. It's obvious why you wouldn't get a lot of those things if you don't pay attention, if you don't get immersed in it. But in Video Games Awesome Defense, it's obvious why they didn't get immersed in it. And that's why this game just doesn't work for the show, because it's a show where you're supposed to where they're supposed to entertain you, and it's hard to entertain the viewer while you at the same time have to look out for a lot of stuff in the game that's supposed to be filled with symbolism. Stuff that you won't get unless you are sitting alone with it and playing it on your own. And this is a prime example of a game you need to play alone in order to get the full picture off. But I'm not demanding for a video game solution or anything. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work, and of course Fraser wouldn't be able to do it, but I don't even want to see it anyway, because it's not going to be entertaining to watch, because it's pretty much just going to be him sitting alone and playing it, and that without interacting with anyone. I was saying alone, I actually also mean without any chat, without any help. And the game doesn't work if you get help, and then it just doesn't have the same impact on you, and you don't get immersed in it. If you don't get any help on how to solve the puzzles, you need to sort of go around and find yourself. You need to remember, oh, what room did I went to? Oh, was it this one? Was it that one? Oh, how did I have to do this? Do I have to go here? Oh, that's not the place I have to go to. Maybe I should go another way. Oh, it's not there. I have to go around back. I have not played this game, but I can tell why it works, and why it makes sense that it doesn't. Why it makes sense that it's disorienting you. But that all goes out the window when you have a chat room that can tell you, oh, you just gotta do this, you just gotta do that. I'm not bashing at anyone here. I'm just trying to explain. I'm just trying to sort of explain for anyone who is in doubt why this game just overall did not work for the show, and the show overall did not work for the game. Because it's not a game that demands a lot of attention when anything scary or anything symbolism happens. And that's why they looked over a lot of stuff and didn't get immersed. So, there you have it. My personal opinion of the game, if I haven't already made that clear, is that I overall like it. I like the story, I like how it's done. And I like the symbolism there is in here and all the parts that are there. And, oh yeah, by the way, this is just something that jumped to my mind. Fraser said that nowhere they explained Pyramid Head being a personified, being a representation of James' suffering and pain. Fraser saying that was no clear in the game. That's wrong. Probably not a lot of people already said this, but that is wrong. It was very clear. It was right there. He said it on his knees. I needed you to he said it on his knees when Maria dies, gets stabbed by the two Pyramid Heads. He says it right there. So again, prime example of not paying attention to the game. But I understand why. You have a show to attend. Fraser, I'm talking directly to you. You have a show to attend. You need to focus on a lot of different stuff at the same time, so it's obvious why you did not notice that. So, all my conclusion here is that the game is good, and Video Games Awesome is good. I like both things, but this game is not right for the show, and this show is just not right for the game. So, there you have it. That was my little, I guess, video response. I've never actually done those kind of things before. I hope it didn't get too long. Let's see. It only got up to 14 minutes. I guess that's enough wasting of your time. I'm sorry if you felt like that. Maybe I'll do another video like this in the future. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Until then, see ya, and thanks for watching. Bye.